So hi, greetings to you all. So the topic I chose, as you see in the caption about the American presidential election. So people will be wondering, who is this fellow, talking about the American election, This is not a political video to say, I support this person or that person. This video is all about the process in how the American election is done. Welcome to my channel. So I chose the topic today as a monologue to talk about the presidential election in United States. So the main idea of doing this video about the process of US election, how the process. It's not about who will win, who is not going to win. No, it's not about that. Only the process. The American election process is totally a different one, and it's very interesting. If you watch my old video, doesn't matter in which part of the world you are watching, you will find some new information which over the years I saw it, watched it, and I also gone through this past few months to get the information on the process in which the American presidential election, Senate election, also representative election. Now I wanted to give some introduction. Okay, why I chose this topic. And in November 3rd, a Tuesday, maybe in 10-15 days, the presidential election in the United States will be over. Okay, now who wins and who loses is not the topic, or this my subject. Because it's an American election, so I have nothing to do with who winning and all. But then for academic interest, I was following up this election over the years, starting from George W. Bush Jr. with Al Gore, where this election went to the Supreme Court, and then after 19 days, something like that, George W. Bush Jr. was declared as the president-elect. They call president-elect till they take the oath. Then later, Obama, and then he took 2 terms. That's not a problem. But 2016, I followed up the whole thing. So why I have to follow up the whole election process? There are a lot of confusion about this primaries in both parties. And then they call it Super Tuesday, Delegates Caucus, and the Thursday, all this, the convention, and then the 2 parties, they go and nominate this or our candidates for the presidential election. That was very interesting to watch. So the most interesting and also, a little different and fascinating issue in the presidential election process is this Electoral College. This is what, and it took me some time. So I decided, let me make a video. So how many people see my video, it doesn't matter to me. Because over the months, I followed up with the news. Not one particular news channel, all American news channel and other news channel, including our Indian media. Okay, to understand and grasp the process in which this electors, they elect their president in the United States. Maybe that's the only country in the whole world they adopt that method. Okay, this is the introduction. Then I visited Washington, D.C. in 1983. It's way back. Okay, maybe 40 years now. And I was going from Liberia, West Africa. I was traveling to India. On my way, I stopped in New York, maybe for a month. Then I traveled to Washington, D.C. And one of my well-wisher is a very nice person. He took me around Washington, D.C. and took me into the Capitol building, just like our parliament. I saw one session. I sat in the gallery, I watched the session in 1983. So I posted a photo. I'm standing right in front of the Capitol building, just like our parliament building. And then another part of it is, I lived in Liberia, West Africa for some time. And they adopted the same one like the Americans. The flag, the constitution, and they have the Senate, House of Representatives, Speaker, all that one, Capitol Hill, Capitol building, speaker, all that one. So I met people, But those days, just you meet people. So now, the present presidential election, they said that will be, I don't know, whatever the people they say it, be more interesting election in the history of the United States. Why? Because lot of the opposition is there for President J. Donald Trump, and also he has his own support base. So now I gave you a rundown, the why I'm making this video. So kindly watch my video, this video and my other video, which I'm posting it immediately, about the Electoral College and the electors who are going to elect the president. Okay, now how this came up. So in this video, I just give a gist why I am doing this. Okay, maybe some error will be there, then kindly forgive me for that error. Say I'm not an expert, I don't hold any big degree in US politics or civic. It's only my interest. I hope now it's almost the points I'm talking to you is correct. So welcome to my channel. This is Georgie Prem Kumar. This channel is all about people, places, events and travel log. This is my monologue. Okay. Maybe I'm going to add some photos, videos, because I'm a little worried about this copyright issues and I don't want in my channel. So now to understand the process, the American election. Okay. So I told you, the reason why I chose this topic to do it. So now, before we go in detail, into the branches of United States government, the Senate, the House of Representatives, how many are there, and what is the Electoral College, who elect the electors, and how they vote, all that one. So I wanted to just brief you what's happening now. Okay, the previous months. Okay, because every presidential election, it starts with the primaries. They call it primaries, where people who compete with each other in each political parties, and then only one person has to get the most delegate votes. That's very interesting. I think we don't do such things in India. Our system is totally different, like the one they do in UK. So they go for the majority party, and they elect their leader to be the chief minister or a prime minister. Okay, so we have MLA, member of legislative council, assembly and council, and then we have member of parliament, both upper house and lower house. Okay, so let's coming back to what's happening. So coming back to the process, as I told you, let's see what's happening there now. So President Donald J. Trump, who is the president, along with VP Mike Pence, they are seeking for re-election, so that they can serve only 2 terms, 4 years, and the election will be on, note the point, the election will be on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. So this election in November, first week Tuesday, is fixed for 200 years. It's how it's going on. The date is not fixed. Always remember this one. They say that according to their constitution or whatever the law, the Tuesday after the first Monday in the month of November. This is how they say it. So the first Tuesday in the month of November, every 4 years, the presidential election will take place. As president, have only 2 terms. President Obama, he was there for 2 terms, I think. 2004, 8 and 12. So this is how now this presidential election happens. Then now, the political parties, in America, that I wanted to brief it before also going to the detail. Only 2 political parties, but they have a libertarian and also green parties there. But the political parties, major political parties, like Republican and Democratic parties, they call Republican parties Grand Old Party. So Mr. Donald J. Trump, the president, he represents the Republican Party. Their symbol is elephant, and their color is red. So the 3 things: Republican, red and elephant. Now, Democratic Party, they have a blue color and the donkey. This is not a symbol, but usually they don't use the symbols, They use, everywhere you can see Trump Pence 2020 or Biden Harris 2020. So when you come here, but our Kamala Harris people are so, she's of Indian origin and all this, people are excited, see, this natural there, okay. Her mother was from Chennai. She speaks Tamil, she eats idli, she eats dosa, all that one, But if you look at the posters, they use surnames. They don't use the first name. They don't use Joe and Kamala. They don't use Joe and Kamala. So he uses Donald and Mike Pence. They don't use it like that. They use the surname always there, Trump. Everybody is Trump. That Ivanka Trump, this Trump, that Trump. Oh, the whole family is Trump. That's the family name. And then they use Pence, the surname. The same way they say Harris and Joe. This is Joseph. This is Joseph. It's Joe. They call Joe Biden. So they use Biden and Harris. Harris is Kamala's father name, surname. Her surname is that, Harris. Donald Harris is the father name. It's Kamala Harris' father also Donald. Okay, so Jamaican. So this is how they use it. So I was talking about what's happening now. Okay, because of COVID-19, COVID-19, coronavirus, and that's the pandemic, so United States, it's affected more. More people are dying in America. And then each state, they had their own way of dealing with it. So they did not postpone the election. They did not delay the election. Or they said the election will be on November 3. Okay, so the early voting started in many states. I think, as of last week, there are 22, 25 million people already they voted. They call it early voting. Even the November 3 is the election day, the election date. So a lot of states, they allow the early vote. I don't know why they have such things. So the early voting started. And they are doing also postal ballot. This is what are more interesting, and there are some the cases are going in some court, all that one. So we are not interested in that. So the early voting, they started, people go to the booth and then they vote. And the another one is ballot, you put it in the post box, and then it goes to the post office, they count it. So they say that November 3, you may not see the election result the same day because of the counting of the postal votes, will be delaying the result, because some states after November 3 they allow 3 days for the post to reach the post office, the ballot. So as long as it's the dated 3, November 3, if they're putting November 3 and put it in the ballot, if it 3 days they gave some. So this is all a little confusing. You don't have to confuse about all these things. Totally the American voting population problem, their problem. But the whole world, they are watching this election. The whole world is watching the election. I watched the whole proceedings of the last year, because previous year, I couldn't watch it because even the time difference is like that. I watched the primaries. I watched the debates on the election day, because this major news network in the United States like CNN, ABC, NBC, and MSNBC, Fox News, there are a lot of local cable network, all they concentrate on that day. It's very interesting to watch the people, declare, projected. So maybe this time that the election process, getting into the election process and the Electoral College, okay? A president needs 270 Electoral College vote. This is what made me to make this video. a path to 270, the magic number 270. They give all kinds of name for the 270. Okay, so I have to do a lot of things, because even though I watched the live, following up, but this electors and electoral college was very, very confusing to me. I did a little bit of research, and then I'm putting up before you. So this may help some people, to understand. Those who are watching, and for the first time, you know that the process of American election is totally different, not like any other democratic country. Okay, this is my first video on the process in which American election is done. Okay, just giving you an introduction to all that one, this thing. So in the next video, which I will release immediately, where I will explain in detail about the process. Okay, the Senate, House of Representatives, and the congressional districts. How many representatives are there in the House, in the Congress? Senators, who elect the senators? What is Electoral College? Who elect the electors of the Electoral College? Okay, all those kind of. So that we will discuss. What part of the world, whatever the time zone you're watching me, thank you for watching my video. Kindly share my video if you think this video is useful to some people to know the facts. Okay, and you can share it and put like, or you can comment it. Okay, till we see next time, till we meet in the next video. Okay, so wishing you more peace, love, happiness. God bless you all. This is George Prem Kumar signing off.